Hello guys, Cryptex here. I hope my sound is good. I'm gonna wait a little bit for you guys to enter into the chat to start with the video. While waiting for you guys, maybe I'm gonna show something. Let me share my screen here. So before going with the subject of today, Uh, I'm gonna share a little bit of the analytics that we had this year here in the channel, and this is mainly to thank you guys um, because as you know, I don't go live like every single day or maybe maximum 2 days per week, and I want to show you something here to you guys. So how can I do this? I did it in my cell phone. Now I'm not able to do it in my computer. Should be okay. So in the last year, this channel had 544 new subscribers. So I'm showing the estimated revenue. So you can see that I made apparently in the last year 663 Canadian dollars. So of course, this goes to pay the StreamYard, to pay uh, the YouTube subscription. So it's not it's almost nothing for sure. But anyways, my point was that for a small channel like this one, I have 2,300 subscribers, something like that. We were able to increase the number of subscribers by 544. So just want to say thank you guys for that. Hey, hello, sister. I appreciate your company. Hello, Miranda. How are you? And also, the other thing that I consider important here, and this is going to be fast. I know that you are not very interested in this type of stuff, but it's a way to thank you guys, to say thanks to you. The number of views that I have per video goes, I would say, between usually 600 and maybe, I don't know, 100, 1,500 to 2K, let's say, between 500 and 2K, which is, in my opinion, is a very significant rate for a channel like this one, which is still very small. These numbers are very comparable to channels in this community that are very, very, how can I say, they have they have an amount of subscribers much higher. The bottom of my comment is that the people following my channel are really engaged. So, and this is for you guys. Thank you again. I was just giving a little bit of my statistics here to say thank you while waiting for you guys to connect. So that being said, I'm gonna go to the subject of this afternoon. Is gonna be fast. I don't think I'm gonna be like too long tonight or this afternoon. Miranda, I'm happy you're good. I know that Miranda, she had like an intervention in her brain, an operation, something like that. So I can see that you are doing well. So full recovery for you, Miranda. Also, how should I pronounce your name? It's not Miranda. How's the way? Miranda? I don't know. I would say Miranda. Thank you for that. So I'm gonna start with a video I made I think a couple of years ago. Uh, there's something that I don't understand in this community. It's very, how can I say? A lot of people, a lot of creators in this community disregard the Kegan Klein theory. I don't know why. It's just like they don't want to even know about it, and that bothers me. Not that the creators bother me, of course not, but the idea of a, a potential suspect, or to me the main suspect in this crime, uh, is not being considered by the community. But I don't know. It bothers me because if you want to get justice here, you have to follow to me, the most logical explanations. And in my opinion, the Kegan Klein's angle uh, connect connects all the dots here in this crime. So, hello, hello, Pertinent. How are you, Pertinent? I pronounce it correctly. Okay, thanks. And I'm seeing if you are following the recent developments about the appealing process and stuff like that, we can see that again we are talking about Odinists. I'm not saying that this is not relevant, that this is not something to follow, but if that appealing process is going to be focused again in the Odinism angle, that's an appealing process designed to designed for failure. So let's see. Uh, Let me share something here. This is from Daisy Ask. I just want to share this post that she made, and this is just to develop the conversation about uh, what I want to talk to tonight. Sorry, my voice is still not good. It's not that I have a great voice, but it's just that uh, my cold, my flu, still there. So I'm still dealing with some uh, congestion. You know what I mean? So give me. So this is the. I just want to share this. I love Amy. Uh, Mad respect for her for the job she's doing in this community. A very nice research, a very deep research. Nice person, smart. I love her channel. But in the Kegan Klein's angle, let's say, she has the same opinion of a lot of people here. And I want to share that post. So she says, who is the type of offender who would do this? I don't think it's Kegan Klein. Why? Online, see some offenders who have no prior contact history go on to commit contact sexual offenses at rates between 3 and 10% in most studies. And violent or sadistic offenses are even rarer, usually less than 1%. So this is like the conception a lot of people they have in this case, like that the Kegan Klein's angle is just something unlikely. And let me just go to the chat for a while, and I'm gonna go with my video here. Pertinent, Haya, Cryptex in chat, Miranda. I think some people don't think he could commit the crime or get to the crime scene due to his body habitus. To go to the cemetery, you don't run. You know what I mean? Or you don't walk. You take a car. You take a red jeep, like he said he did. So it's nothing related to his body, to his weight. I don't understand that, but Yes, you're right. A lot of people talk about his weight, and we know that at the time he was not that heavy. Sorry, guys. Still there, my congestion. And yeah, I know. Miranda, if Kegan is not involved somehow, that is the biggest coincidence I ever heard of. Yeah, of course he's involved. And to me, he's the mastermind of this crime. RC99 991. How are you, RC? This is true. I agree. Some people do think that. My answer would be Jerry Holman got the crime scene. Yeah, exactly. It's a very good point. So, actually, what I think is okay, this is true. My issue with Keegan Klein being there on the scene is Fred Coghill was in the cemetery at 2:30 p.m. Never saw any red jeep there. As I told in my previous lives, to me, the red jeep is just a red herring. The red jeep is just something that didn't happen. They went to the cemetery using a total different type of car. Uh, if you're going to commit a crime, you're not going to use a red jeep to go there at all. So that was part of the strategy that law enforcement used to sell that story, let's say. But to me, it's not. They didn't use the red jeep to go there. It's a red herring in that theory, which to me is a very likely theory. So uh, this video I made. Sorry, give me just 1 second, guys. Here. Uh, okay, I'm gonna show this video. It's about three predators. They were catfishing a girl. I don't know if you know this TV show is about some cops that are working like uh, uh, how can I say? They are catching predators. They are not. My God, my. So sorry again, guys. My voice is not good. The congestion here in my throat is just bad. It's like some. It's like I have a stone here. It's bad. Anyways, so those cops are working like undercover, and they are catching predators. I know. I think you know this emission. Um, so what I found interesting in the video I'm gonna show is that in this case it was not only one predator catfishing the girl and going to meet the girl. There were three people. Three people. One of them was the mastermind of the crime. Well, it's not a crime because they were captured before committing the crime, of course. But you know what I mean. And that guy to me is like Keegan Klein. It's like the one who uh, conceived the the crime, the one who the mastermind behind the crime. The other two guys were two guys that were helping this one, the mastermind. But according to the police, the other two guys they didn't know anything about what this guy was doing. So one of the things I'm saying since forever here in this case is like is that I believe that Richard Allen is involved in the crime, but I don't know what is the extent of his involvement. And something like this scenario that I'm gonna show here could be the situation in regards of Richard Allen. He could be just someone that was working with the brain of the crime, but he didn't necessarily know what was going to happen or what was happening there. Anyways, I'm talking too much, so I'm gonna go to to the video. But before, let me go again to the chat because some of you are popping up right now. This is true. What if the clients never drove there? What if Rick drove them there and dropped them at the cemetery? Would explain the way his car drives past the harvester Hoosier camera. Yeah, that's possible. 100% with you. It's a very good point. Why not? Good point. Criminal Network. Good to see you. Nick Starrow is on that. Why not a lot of people? Start over in a few, maybe? Yeah, and case by case too. I know, but look, it is what it is. I hope some people are gonna be here and in the replay. It's part of the game. Today is the shortest day of the year here, guys. So my schedule is kind of difficult. So I understand that some creators are live right now, and that's why we don't have too much crowd today. But it is what it is. Mother of Dragons, how are you? Happy to have you here. Quietly concerned. How are you? Quietly. So let's go with the video I wanted to show you guys, and I'm coming back to the channel, to the chat. Sorry. There's no sound. Oh shit. How so? I have sound here. How so there's no sound? What? Can you confirm, guys, if there's sound or not? Can you confirm? How so you cannot hear the video? That's weird. I don't understand. You cannot hear the video, really? Let me check, guys. I don't know why. That's weird. 1 second. I have volume here. I have volume here. Yes, please, guys, can you please confirm if the video has a sound for you or not? No sound on the video. This is really weird. Okay, let me. I hate this shit. Okay, let me do something. I'm gonna change my tab. Let's see. So this is a new tab. What about now? Can you hear the sound of the video? I hope so. So let me see, guys, if you can You can hear the sound. No. I don't understand why. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna close all the windows here. And I'm gonna come back to YouTube. Don't get it. I can hear the video perfectly in my computer. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, let's try again. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why I'm addicted. I'm indicted. Okay, let's try again. Share screen. Bug hunting. Okay. Let's try again. Hey, hello, Sluti. How are you? Happy to see you. I have technical problems. Apparently, my sound is not good when, or it's inexistent when I play the video. So let's see. Let's see if now you can hear the sound.
Using the screen name Spacky786 describes in terms too graphic to use on television. I know you're 12, but girls these days are way ahead. You were expecting this man to show up after having a sexually explicit chat with a decoy who said she was a 12-year-old female.
Is that one or two of them?
So we were surprised when he gathered outside our house with two other individuals.
So it seems that it is fixed now. Thank you guys for confirming that. Again, we're gonna play a video where we have a couple of predators working together. They're gonna catfish a victim. This is part of a show where the cops are working undercover. So at the end, the crime was not committed because these guys were arrested. And I really love this video. I did some editing, but what I want to show is usually when we see this type of videos, we can see just one guy catfishing the victim, meeting the victim, and being arrested by the cops. But in this case, what is interesting is that there were three guys working together. One of them was the mastermind of the catfishing situation. The other two guys, they were working with him. And what is interesting is that the other two guys, they didn't know anything about the catfishing situation. They were helping the guy, but they didn't know what was going on. And I think that in the Delphi's case, that's one of the possibilities here. To me, you know that I believe that Richard Allen is someone who was involved in the crime, likely bridge guy, in my opinion, but not necessarily the perpetrator, the killer, the murderer. So, anyways, I'm gonna come back with my idea after showing this video. It's very short. I didn't download the whole video. It's just a couple of minutes, guys, just to present my idea here. So let's do it.
Name Spacky786 describes in terms too graphic to use on television. I know you're 12, but girls these days are way ahead. You were expecting this man to show up after having a sexually explicit chat with a decoy who said she was a 12-year-old female.
Is that one or two of them?
So we were surprised when he gathered outside our house with two other individuals.
Three guys.
He was one that masterminded this plan. The other two individuals didn't really know everything that was going on. They knew they were going to meet a girl. From what we were able to determine, they did not know the age of that girl.
Farouk and another man stay outside and send in this young man.
Want to pour me some drinks?
I'm cool.
Are you sure? All right, well, I was thinking, I'm gonna go call a couple friends since you have a couple friends. And I could just get a couple people in here. What do you think?
We quickly realize that the young man, who we learn is just 15, doesn't seem to know what's going on. He tells us that it was that man outside whose idea it was to come here. Back inside, this 15-year-old is still saying his friend set this all up.
My friend told me she said she's 17. That's why.
While I'm having the conversation inside, the two men outside apparently get suspicious.
They're running. They're taking off.
They leave their friend inside and try to get to their car.
Put your hands up. Okay, on your knees.
But the police take them into custody. The 15-year-old is released and isn't charged with a crime.
What are the charges? Like, why are we here for?
And the other man who accompanied Farouk also tells the police he didn't know what was going on. Later, police also release him and don't charge him with a crime. But Farouk himself, the man who had those graphic chats with someone who said she was 12, is charged with one count of an attempted lewd act upon a child.
He was the one that masterminded this plan. The other two individuals didn't really know everything that was going on. They knew they were going to meet a girl. From what we were able to determine, they did not know the age of that girl.
So that was the video I wanted to
Big developments in the case of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, the man accused of
Using the screen name.
So that was the video I wanted to show you. As you can see here, there were 3 people working together in a catfishing scenario. Again, a lot of people in this community says that 3 predators, 3 perpetrators working in that catfishing scenario is something very rare, very unlikely. Or we just saw here that shit happens, right? My God. And again, we saw that there was a mastermind, the guy we can see in the picture, and the other 2 guys, they didn't know anything, or they didn't know that they were supposed to commit a crime. So the guy who was preparing the whole crime, he was accompanied by 2 other people who didn't know anything about the crime. So again, when we say that Richard Allen, just because he is potentially, allegedly, a bridge guy, he should be convicted for the murder of the victims, even if we don't have any evidence that he was the actual killer or the actual murderer. To me, that's totally insane to think about that, to think like that. Why? Because, again, if we compare with we just saw here in this short video, the one who was actually, let's say that in this situation they were not undercover agents, and that the crime happened actually, and that the one who killed the girl was this one in the picture. So what are we saying is that because the police, they had another guy, this young guy here, arrested or captured, that's it. The case is solved. This guy was part of the catfishing situation. He was the one maybe leading the girls to the crime scene, and we don't care about the other perpetrators. So it's the same thing. If Richard Allen was not the killer, if Richard Allen was not the murderer, I know that the legal stuff says that he is equally guilty, but to me this is not full justice being served, because the other guys who were actually the masterminds of the crime are not convicted for the murder of the girls. You know what I mean? I'm rambling a little bit here, but I think you get my idea. We have this guy who is the mastermind of the crime, I would say someone like Kegan Klein, let's say, working with other two guys, a young guy who was, let's say, the guy who was observed by Betsy Blair, and other guy potentially, let's say, Richard Allen, that were hired by this guy, were paid by this guy potentially, let's say, but they were not aware that a crime was gonna be committed. And this one is the one who went to jail, who went to prison, who is convicted for the murders, and the other two are free as a bird, or at least convicted, but not in relation to the crime of Abby and Libby. Going back to the chat, just 1 second here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what is the location, what is the city, but somewhere in US. This is an episode of the old show To Catch a Predator. Thank you. Yeah, that was the name I was looking for. Skin Royce here. Thank you for being here. Slutty Goosey. So what did he tell the other guy they were doing, and why did he try to run off? I don't know. They didn't say why. The only thing that the agent, the officer, said is that the other two guys, they were not aware that they were supposed to meet an underage girl there. But anyways, if they were hired to rob the house, if they were hired to commit a different type of crime, the situation changes. The situation changes a lot. It's not the same thing. Having a mastermind behind the crime and having two people working with him, two people that doesn't know anything about the crime. You're being paid. Let's say, again, if we put the example of Richard Allen, okay, we need you to help us with this. You're gonna find these two girls on the trails, and you have to direct the girls towards the private drive. That's it. You're gonna have X amount of money for that, and that's the whole participation of Brit's guy in the crime. But the actual murderers were the clients. You know what I mean? And the one who got the whole rage of the justice hammer was Richard Allen. There's no full justice. We don't know what is the answer. A lot of again, unanswered questions. I just wanted to say that this situation happens. It's not unlikely. It's not rare. To me, it's much more logical. A catfishing scenario. Knowing everything we know about Kegan Klein, knowing that he confessed about committing the crime, that the freaking Odinism theory that I can see today is still being used as part of that appealing process, and that's going to lead again to the failure of the success of such an appealing process, because no one is going to buy that. Forget about it. Go work with the client's angle, work with the Ron Logan's angle. If you don't do that, that appealing process is designed to fail again, as the original process was, thanks to the incompetence of Baldwin and Rosie, and thanks to the fishy situations surrounding, again, Baldwin and Rosie, especially Rosie, conflict of interest, and some weird situation with the handling of the Marathon gas station video there. So, yeah, coming back to the chat. Quietly concerned. When Richard Allen was first arrested, I did think it was possible that he just trapped them for others. But I think he would talked by now if that was so. I think that was happened, actually, that he was the one leading the girls to that kidnapping area, let's say. He led the girls to the private drive, and something else happened after. You think he would talk by now? Why? Why do you think so? His hope was to have an innocent verdict. When you are expecting to have that type of verdict, you are not gonna talk. You're not gonna. You're not gonna be that stupid. You at the end, if you confess, you're gonna have maybe the same. Let's say if he confessed, he's gonna have what 50 years, like Kegan Klein. Kegan Klein had 42 years just for something that is not related to the crime. So imagine Richard Allen confessing to the crime. He's gonna have minimum 50 years behind bars, and he's already what 50. So 50 plus 50, 100. This is a life sentence. You know what I mean? So he's not stupid. If he participated in the crime, he's not gonna confess, because at the end he's not gonna win anything. He's gonna have 50 years more behind bars. It's life sentence. So his best strategy is to not to confess if he participated in the crime. So I don't see why he would confess. It's not a good strategy at all. V says, I see your point. Interesting perspective. Thank you, V. Harding Holly, how does Paul Ether play into this? Why take his DNA for this? Paul Ether was a very interesting suspect. A very, very interesting suspect. And look, I don't know if he was actually fully investigated. It's one of the characters or the actors in this crime that I think we passed too fast when we talk about Delphi. Like Paul Ether, we don't talk too much about him, but I don't know, the whole situation. He raping a girl. I don't remember if a couple of days before the murders of the girls, then committing suicide. It's kind of interesting. I think he was the main suspect for Douglas Rice, Paul Ether. So it's a very interesting character. And again, this investigation was so shitty, so crap, that those suspects were maybe not fully cleared, not fully investigated. So yeah, this is a good comment. Harding Holly. Yeah, exactly. He was capable of kidnap. He took an older fee. Yeah, of course, he was creepy. He was a creepy guy, 100%. What do you think of the detail about Logan Holder being invited to the trails? I think it's interesting. It's not irrelevant, but he was his friend. You know, he was friends with Abby and Libby. I think that it's more interesting to dig into the Kegan Klein angle. He was supposed to meet the girls, but Libby, she never showed up. Someone who is not an actual friend of the girls, someone who confessed to commit the murders, someone who was supposed to be at Delphi and that Marathon gas station disappeared magically, someone who was threatening girls in another park with some type of threats about cutting their throats, and wishing to watch the blood bleeding out. That to me is more interesting that two girls talking to their actual friends. So Logan Holder was an actual friend of Abby. What is weird there? To me, okay, interesting to investigate. It's interesting to do some type of research there. But at the end, when you have a friend, you talk to your friends. So the weird thing here is the girls communicating with Anthony Schultz, not communicating, in my opinion, with Logan Holder, but I can understand also your point. In the brief, what do you mean in the brief? I really don't understand the question, Criminal Network. Harding Holly, set alarm for this cryptex. Don't care what time of day or night, I will watch you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate a lot your support. Thank you for that comment. It's giving me moral for sure. Hey, by the way, what do you think, guys, about? I think no, sorry, I lost the option, so I don't want to talk about that. So, coming back to the subject, quietly concerned. I think the client connection could be the Dropbox. That's the holy grail. That's the holy grail of this case. I agree with you. People in high places being caught up, it's possible, but it's not my main theory. This is my main theory. To me, the holy grail of this case is the Dropbox of Kegan Kline. Kegan Kline. Debunked by who? By who? Tell me who debunked this theory. I don't know who debunked that theory. Kegan Kline theory, the Kegan Kline's angle is the most likely scenario here. So if someone debunked the Kegan Kline's theory, is like, what about the other theories? So the Odin's theory, it doesn't even exist compared to the Kegan Kline's theory. I don't understand. How can you say that the theory was debunked? Debunked by who? I don't know. Quietly concerned. I think he would have talked before because he lost his sanity before the process. Before the process? Before the trial? Why do you say before the trial? Okay. When you lose your sanity, you do things that are not normal, right? So if you lose your sanity, maybe you do the opposite. You know what I mean? You're not gonna talk. If you're gonna say stuff that is actually not true. You know what I mean? So I don't understand your point. So you lose your mind and you confess because you lose your mind. No, you confess when you are in your right state of mind. You know what I mean? Or it's gonna be a false confession. What is the situation here, in my opinion? To me, that confession is questionable. So I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Of course, not being debunked is. I know that criminal network, for some reason that I really don't understand at all, he doesn't like the theory, like Baldwin and Rossi, and you don't want to help the person that you're saying that is wrongly convicted. If you don't want to help that person by digging into the most logical theory here, that's fine. But Cryptex and crew, greetings from the UK. How are you, Mark and Betty? Who is watching Cryptex now, Mark or Betty? Or Mark and Betty, you together? Please let me know that in the channel. Okay, Sistru. Would Abby invite Logan if they were meeting shots? Probably. Probably. I don't know what type of party was there. Something happened with Anthony Shots for sure. Would Abby invite Logan if they were meeting Shots? Maybe Shots was part of the party that they were supposed to have there at the other side of the bridge. I don't know. I don't know. If Libby is inviting some people from her side and Abby is inviting some people from her side, I don't know, a double date? Peggy. Libby with Anthony Schott and Abby with Logan Holder? Could be that. There's a perfect opportunity to meet guys. So maybe Libby is, hey, you know, I met this guy online. It's Anthony Schott. I'm gonna meet him at the bridge. Do you want to come with me? You can invite a friend of yours. So a double date, perfect. Two couples there. Why not? I don't see what is impossible. You know what I mean? I think so. It's helping the theory. Criminal Network. Logan Holder was the original lure to the trails that day. Could be. Yeah, that's the thing. But Logan Holder being at the school or being at school, it doesn't mean that he didn't participate. So I understand the point of Criminal Network. Yeah. If Logan Holder was supposed to meet Abby and Libby, maybe he never showed up, but other people showed up. That's part of the catfishing scenario. Like Kegan Klein. Kegan Klein, he didn't show up at the bridge. He stayed at the cemetery, but other people showed up. You know, it doesn't. That's the thing with the alibis. Even if someone was not there, he could be very well part of the crime. Quietly concerned. That's a good point, but it was Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, exactly. A double date, easily, and potentially Logan Holder, he didn't show up. You debunked it, okay? I'm sorry, but I don't believe you that you debunk it. I believe that you have a theory where you think it's unlikely in your opinion, but you cannot debunk the Kegan Klein's theory at all. Criminal Network, Holy Grail. Holy smokes, you are tunnel visioned out. Maybe you are the one having a tunnel vision. Maybe you are not seeing the fishy stuff surrounding Rosie and Baldwin. You don't want to see that. You want to remain blind. You don't want to know what happened with the Marathon gas station. You don't want to know why Rosie and Baldwin, they were not interested in defending his client using a logical theory instead of going with that crappy theory of the Odinists. Maybe you're the one with tunnel vision here. So if we are going to talk like that, one to each other, fine with me. What was the older brother's alibi? Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that Rick was in a condition that makes the confessions being questionable. 100%. 100%. That's the problem. How stupid is going to be Baldwin? How stupid is going to be Rosie if they didn't even think that Kegan Klein did it or that Kegan Klein was involved? If I'm the client of Rosie and Baldwin, I'm going to fire those lawyers if they think like that. So thank you for your comment, that proves that Baldwin and Rossi are super incompetent. Super incompetent. So let's read this comment again, guys. Baldwin and Rossi didn't even think Kegan Klein did it. Oh, those lawyers are really incompetent. Thank you for that, but you didn't pay any good service to your client. And I don't believe that. I believe that Rossi, he knows very well that Kegan Klein was involved, and we know what is the reason for not using the Kegan Klein's angle to defend Richard Allen. We know that potentially. So that's great. If Kegan Klein did it, what is his connection to Odinism as a true? Nothing. That's the point. There's no connection with Odinism and Asa True. So it's zero. Why do you need a connection between Kegan Klein and Odinism and Asa True and Fields and Holder and Westphal? Zero. He doesn't have to know or to be involved with Odinism. That's my point. Odinism, to me, is crap. It's crap. It's the way to bury your own client. Honest answer. There's no connection. Zero. It's a crappy theory. And a fishy theory. A theory that they selected to use to not to represent properly their client. And that's bad. So, I'm very critical. I despise law enforcement in this case. But seriously, if you don't question the defense attorneys of Richard Allen, Richard Allen has a problem. And if the same pattern is going to happen during the appealing process, forget about it. It's done. He's going to be there forever behind bars. It makes sense. Double date. Yeah, double date. It makes sense. So it's going to be uncomfortable for you to be with one guy and your friend being alone. You know what I mean? So to me, a double date it makes perfect sense. Yeah, please, guys, hit the like button. It's the best comment so far from Criminal Network today. Just kidding, man. He's not saying Kegan Klein did it exactly, but the Anthony Shots account is 100% the impetus of the crime. Yeah. And what I say is that Kegan Klein was the mastermind. I'm not saying that he physically went to the crime site to kill the girls. No. I think that actually the confession he made makes sense. He drove there with someone else. He waited after catfishing the girls in the cemetery. To me, it makes perfect sense. So he doesn't have to be the actual murderer. He could be someone filming, recording the crime because he has an obsession, a fantasy with throats. Oh, sorry. It's my talking about throats. Just 1 second, guys, because I'm so congested. Oh man, I have a stone here in my throat. If Kegan Klein didn't do it, then why speak about it? What do you mean? He didn't say that he murdered the girls. He said that he drove to the cemetery with someone else. I think I answered your questions. I don't know what question I didn't answer. Kegan Klein started the Anthony Shots account that catfished the girl to the bridge. I feel like this is pretty easy. Yeah. No Odinism or Asatru, zero. 000. Yeah, me too. Same here, man. Dating brothers? What do you say, brothers? Logan Holder and Anthony Shots, why brothers? Quietly concerned. Let's face it, the investigation was so poor and the process so biased that anything is possible. Possible, yes. But there are layers of possibilities, you know. The likely scenario, the less likely scenario, the possible scenario, the potential scenario, the unlikely scenario, you know. Everything is possible, but what is likely, what is not likely. What did Kegan Klein do that involved murdering Abby and Libby? But I don't understand, why are you asking that question, Criminal Network? You know what was the confession of Kegan Klein? No, I don't get it. If you are asking that question just to recreate the same debate we have every time, fine, but you know the answer. You know the answer to your own question. Skin roll. I don't think Rick is involved at all, but I absolutely appreciate and respect your perspective, Cryptex. Thank you, man. Same here for you. Same here for you. Were the bodies at the crime scene on February 13, 2017? The whole day, you mean? I don't know if they were moved at one point. I don't know. I think they were killed there, especially Libby, for sure, based on the amount of blood that was found there. Now they were there the whole day on the 13th. I don't know. I don't think it would be easy to move the bodies out of the area, in my opinion. If they were moved to some place in the Ron Logan property area, let's say, in some type of a barn, maybe even inside the house of Ron Logan, potentially. But I think they were cadaver dogs. I hope. I really don't know. I don't know if law enforcement, they used cadaver dogs to inspect the Ron Logan's house, the barn, what's the name of that? The shack. Apparently there was a shack, and that was something that was mentioned by Richard Allen himself during the interview. So maybe they were moved in that specific area. That's possible, I think. Now, being moved out of Delphi or I think it's going to be unlikely. But, I don't know. KS, I wish my wife agreed with me about anything as much as I agree with Cryptex about Delphi. Thank you for that. At least I'm not alone. No, I think I know that some people, they are still digging into the Kegan Klein's angle for sure. And I just, I don't understand the lack of interest in that theory, especially from the defense side. It's really weird. It's really weird. I don't get it. But anyways, older brother of Logan. Okay. You mean Levi? What's the name? Levi Holder? Look, it's not impossible. Again, if they were there to meet Logan Holder, I don't know about Levi. What we know is that the sketch that was made based on the testimony of Teresa Liebert, that sketch, he looks a lot like, in my opinion, like Logan Holder. or even Levi Holder. A lot of people say that that sketch looks like Elvis Fields, but to me, it's it's very close to Logan Holder. But again, we are playing with the characters we know. So we know Logan Holder, we know Elvis Fields, we know Richard Allen, Kegan Kline. We know a very small amount of people here. So we do the connections with the people we know, but who knows if there was a different guy there. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know the answer. But yeah, it's interesting that Levi Holder or Logan Holder, they look a lot like the sketch that was made by Teresa Liebert, for sure. For anybody who has followed the case since the beginning, know that Kegan Kline was looked and cleared 2 weeks after the murders by law enforcement and the Internet Task Force. That is public record, okay? And why was he kept behind bars, or why was not he charged with CSAM at that point? Explain that to me. Maybe because he was an informant of law enforcement, maybe. So now, what is very funny here, guys, is that we say that law enforcement, they are liars, they can lie, and actually they are. They are pieces of shit. They are incompetent. They are corrupt. But when that line of thinking is not allowed with your theory, so at that point you say, law enforcement said that Kegan Kline is not connected. So now you believe law enforcement. Why? Because it's aligned with your theory. Everything that law enforcement says here is crap, but that point, because it's aligned with your theory, right? So what about Kegan Kline being under a polygraph at the Grissom Air Force Base, and following that polygraph test, they went to search the Wabash River. So do you think that there was something true? There was some truth in the words of Kegan Kline, or not? Because a polygraph is not Jerry Holman talking or giving the interpretation of when we see Jerry Holman talking to Richard Allen, you have to listen to the words of Jerry Holman, but that's an interpretation, you know. But when you have a polygraph, I think that the answers are a little bit more clear, let's say. I know that a polygraph is not perfect, but I think that for sure is more easy to detect deception when you are under the polygraph scenario, let's say. And when Kegan Kline was interrogated with the use of a polygraph, they knew that he said that he was telling the truth in some aspects of his confession. And that's why they went to search the Wabash River. So it's easy to choose or to say, Jerry Holman was telling the truth here because that fits my theory, but he was lying there because that doesn't fit my theory, you know? So law enforcement, they are liars always, or they are liars, or they are not liars. You know what I mean? In this case. But you cannot choose when they are lying and when they are not lying based on the theory you have. That's my point. I think Messer, Elvis, and Roth were the ones there at 4 a.m. Potentially. They looked at him that hard. He was free for exactly. How can you explain that? Huh? How can you explain that? That is a perfect answer, sister. Yeah, actually, that's what I just said. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't add up. I agree with you, sister, 100%. KS, does criminal network understand that Kegan Klein Googled the Marathon gas station in Delphi that morning? I don't think he understands. Or I think he understands, but he doesn't want to give up. I don't know, how can I explain this? We have bias, for sure. And maybe in his mind, the Kegan Klein scenario is as unlikely as in my mind the Odinism scenario is, But when you have 12 jurors in front of you and you want to get justice for your client, or at least you want to represent properly your client, if I'm the lawyer, the attorney defending that guy, I'm not gonna use the ordinance theory for real, because it's not gonna work. And it didn't work at all. So I know that the ordinance theory was not presented to the jurors or the clients or whatever, but I mean, they put all their efforts into the ordinance theory before going to the actual process, and they lost a lot of time. I think if the defense attorneys, they were focused in the Kegan Klein's angle or in the Ron Logan angle, a nexus could be part of the original process, but they didn't care about that. And we know why, we know very well why. Whether it was a real ritual or not, are you saying there is nothing at the crime scene that looked ritualistic? Ritualistic, yes, but not sacrifice. And that's very different. A ritual and a sacrifice is totally different. So the language of the attorneys was about a sacrifice. And when people talk about sacrifice, I'm sorry, but you are losing the game right away. Right away, you are losing the game. When you are talking about a ritual, that's something different. A ritual is not the same thing. And a ritual could be a ritual for the killer himself. You know what I mean? When we talk about signatures, when we talk about symbols, that could be part of a ritual. But when you talk about sacrifice, that's where the far-fetched stuff, and that's when you lose your credibility as a lawyer, as an attorney. Like you're gonna appear like an idiot online, and in front of the judge, in front of the jurors, in front of everyone, you're gonna be an idiot, an idiotic lawyer, an idiotic attorney. But if you talk about symbols, if you talk about signatures, yeah, that makes sense, of course. And symbols and signatures could be very well something that was in the scope of the whole Kegan Klein scenario angle. It's not something that I separate. Kegan Klein and symbols and signatures, perfect. But sacrifice, for real, sacrifice. The Marathon gas station, yeah, of course. Yeah, to me, it has a lot to do with the murders of Airbnb. A lot. And let's see if Josh Rossi is going to be accountable one day for that situation. of if he has the balls to explain if he is involved or not in that situation. And why was Brad Rossi saying that this is the story of my life when he was asked by Jerry Holman about the Marathon gas station situation and the connection with his brother Josh Rossi. So nothing to do with the murders of Abby and Levy? Yeah, right. Even during the interrogation of Kegan Klein, David Vido, he's talking about a gas station. He made the gas station reference in that interview, in that interrogation. So, of course, it has to do, likely, with the murders. Peggy, hello, Peggy. Why so? Why did you disappear those days? Just kidding. We still have to do the next show together. So let's see when it's gonna be a good opportunity to do that. Cryptex, you are dodging the questions in your eyes. Did the murder scene? No, you were the one talking about sacrifice. I'm not the one talking about sacrifice. You know what I mean? And if you didn't use the word sacrifice, my bad. Ritualistic for the killer, yes, but not sacrifice. I just explained that. Symbols, signatures. Yeah, exactly. There's something called a ritualistic sacrifice, an offering to the deities. In Spanish is las deidades. Yeah, but I don't think is. No, I actually like the questions of criminal network because it gave me topic to talk. This live was supposed to be very short, and yeah, thanks to the questions of criminal network, we could go longer, let's say. And same for you guys. If you have questions for me or for yourself, that's cool. I actually like that type of interchange to have different ideas when someone is playing, as you said, the devil advocate. Perfect. I like that. Peggy, what days? I didn't disappear. No. I'm the one who disappeared. We have to talk again soon. Amy, I agree. Signature, not something motivated by ritualistic ideas, but a ritual to the killer. Sadism, and signature. Yeah, I started the show talking about you, Amy, because I know that you don't believe that Kegan Klein is part of this crime. So I used one of your posts of your community page to develop my subject or my topic tonight. So I did it with respect, by the way. Sorry. Hi, everyone. By the way, I've been sick as a dog, just emerging from bed. Me too. Oh, it's like what, almost 10 days with this flu, this cold. It's like getting better, but the next day, fuck, again. And the congestion is bad in my throat, my nose. Man. Sorry for that. I hope you're gonna get well soon. Criminal Network, thank you for answering. Always good debating with you, brother. Same here, man. Same here. Cicero, is if there is a Klein connection, it is from behind the screen, in my opinion, not at the scene. What do you mean by the scene? The scene is just the crime site, or do you consider the scene like the cemetery, like the Marathon gas station? That's part of the scene here, or not? Just to understand your question. To me, if there's a client connection, for sure, is behind the screen, for sure, because of the fact that Anthony Shot is the fake account created by Kegan to catfish the girls. But I think that they were also at the crime scene. One of them at the crime site, in my opinion, and Kegan potentially too. At the very least, in my opinion, he was at the cemetery. He was the driver, but I don't know if he went with potentially Tony Klein to the crime site. And if he went to the crime site, Kegan, I think he would be there to film the crime. Again, why do I think so? Because of his fantasies about cutting throats, his fantasies about violence, the history of situations where he was threatening girls, again, Galveston Park, about cutting their throats, watching the girls to bleeding out, which to me is the same representation of the crime site. So remember that when Robert Ives was talking about the crime scene, he said that, I don't remember the exact wording, but he said that the crime scene is something that is worth to look at. If you translate that sentence into Spanish language, for me, it's like the crime scene is something that someone want to stage that way to take a picture. And when we talk about pictures, we talk about Kegan Klein. I know that when you think about Kegan Klein and picture, you see nudes, but to me there's something darker. Kegan Klein was working in the dark web. Kegan Klein went to Vegas. Kegan Klein had a fixation with violence in the aspect of cutting throats. So to me, Kegan Klein could be there to film or to take pictures of that situation. That's what I think. So if Kegan Klein was there, there are two options. He was waiting at the cemetery, as he said in his confession, while Tony went to meet the girls, to kidnap the girls and kill them. Or maybe he went there also to take some pictures. And from the cemetery to the crime site is very easy to go. So you don't have to be Usain Bolt or Carl Lewis to go to the crime site from the cemetery. So the idea of Kegan Klein being too fat to go there, I don't buy that at all. Right? Thank you. I know, Amy. Yeah, I hope you're gonna get well very soon, for sure. Hearts for Daisy. Sometimes I call you Daisy, sometimes I call you Amy. Sorry, Amy. Quietly concerned. Yeah, there's bad everywhere. In my company, everybody is sick. It's just the flu is everywhere. 40 degrees. Wow. Here is like minus 40. So we are in the George's in the house. How are you, George? Happy to have you here. KS. Peggy, what are your thoughts on the report that Kegan Klein was seen getting wined and dined at a hotel after the Wabash confession? I don't know what is the source of that. I know that rumor, but I don't know how solid it is. So Today, I'm not giving any weight to that situation. It's just like a rumor, a street rumor that it doesn't help, in my opinion, with the Kegan Klein's theory. It's not necessarily, you know what I mean? To me, it's like it's something that is forced to be entered into that theory to discredit the theory. You know what I mean? It's like if someone is trying to enter that idea just with the objective of, introducing crap into the theory to get the theory discredited. You know what I mean? So it's something that is not necessary here for the theory to work. So it's fishy. It's like if someone who doesn't have any interest, let's say, I'm gonna use the criminal network name just to try to explain my theory, but it's not criminal network, of course. Let's say criminal network, he hates the Kegan Klein theory. So he's gonna create the rumor that Kegan Klein was seen getting wined and dined at the hotel after the Wabash confession on purpose, because he knows that by doing that, the theory is gonna be not credible anymore. It's gonna lose credibility. You know what I mean? Of course, it's not criminal network. I'm just trying to give you my perspective about that. So I not because something is pointing at Kegan Klein as a pervert or as a crappy guy, I'm gonna use it, to enhance my theory. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? I could use that. Oh, look at this. That increases the likelihood of Kegan Klein being the killer, but just stupid rumors at that point, in my opinion. Again, Amy, you know way more about the clients than I do, so I could be missing something. I'm just more focused on the people who seem to have gotten endless protection. Yeah, no, that's fine, Amy. Peggy, I heard of it, but I don't have enough knowledge to offer an informed opinion, especially because it's a rumor that doesn't hold water, in my opinion. So, anyways, I just feel if this was planned, they don't take a box cutter. First of all, I'm not sure if the box cutter was the actual weapon that was used during the crime, because that the state, they changed their theory like at the last minute of the process. This is fishy. They were always using the serrated and not serrated blades weapons. So to me, that's still a possibility. That one knife was a knife with serrated blades, the other one was with not serrated blades. In the case, there were two perpetrators committing the crime. That's one point. Second point, let's assume that the crime was committed by the use of a box cutter. It doesn't mean that the plan was to kill the girls. Maybe the plan was just to kidnap the girls, to take some pictures, to sexual assault the girls using ski masks, taking a video to sell it in the dark web, in the internet. At that moment, a box cutter is enough. It's not even enough. It's not necessary. You can have a box cutter in your pocket, but the weapon that was intended to be used for the kidnapping scenario was a gun. Now, if the things went out of control, and the only available weapon you had to kill the girls without shooting the gun, which is something that is gonna make a lot of noise. Yes, the killers or the murderers at that point, they are gonna use the weapon that is available, a box cutter. So it doesn't mean that if the crime was planned, they wouldn't take a box cutter. I agree. But the point is, maybe the killing was not planned. Only the kidnapping scenario. You know what I mean? And the murders were something collateral. They had to kill the girls for some reason. So at that point, the box cutter was something that was there, but was not intended to be used at the moment. You know what I mean? Peggy agrees with she's true 100%. Jer is calling me creepy, but I know it's the good creepy, not the creepy. So, just kidding here. Language, bad joke. Fish, orange, white eyes. What is that? Fish, orange, white eyes. How are you, Fishy? Happy to have you here again, as usual. Fishy is a big fish in a very small pond. Okay, who else is here? He definitely means criminal. That's funny, it's true. That's funny. You can argue with the fact that Anthony Schultz catfished the victim and Kegan Klein was Anthony Schultz. Listen. I'm gonna say it in French. Écoute, Jer, tu as tout à fait raison. J'espère que mon ami Criminal Network a compris 100% the comment of Jer. What did Criminal Network do? I'm here listening, lurking, scrolling, judging. Shame on you, Criminal Network. Criminal Network. Mi buen amigo Criminal Network. How is the OF? What is the OF? OF? The office? I don't know what are you talking about. It's crazy how many women want a elf. What? A lesbian with braces is also known as a box cutter. Daisy. Well, he picked you, Criminal Network, not me. Of course, it was the easiest person to pick. OnlyFans. Okay. Who is in OnlyFans here? I'm out of the scope of that gossip situation here, guys. Too late. Okay, guys, I don't know if you have any other question about the subject of today. Oh my god. I don't think he has too many members. I hope. Holy shit. Yeah, Kegan Klein in OnlyFans with the sock. You know that he has a fetish, an obsession with socks, a fantasy with socks. Oh, imagine that image, that picture. Oh, God. Oh, quietly concerned. So many dodgy people in and around Delphi, but the guy who works in CVS is the worst of them all. Daisy, Amy, did you catch the theory I had the other day about a failed abduction? The 207 car might have been attempting to pick up the girls and bridge guy, but was blocked by gate. So they choose the crime scene. No, I have to be honest. I'm not watching too much material about Delphi those days, not because some specific reason, just busy at work and sick. So, and watching a movie. Oh, guys, you have to. I'm gonna show you something. This is, oh my God, Mayor of. Oh no, sorry, it's not here. It's
What's going on? They knew they were going to meet.
Give me 1 second. Do you know this series? Just 1 second, guys. I'm gonna show you something here. This series, guys. I was watching this TV show yesterday. I couldn't stop. 7 seasons. I went to bed at almost at 4 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't stop watching this TV show. It's called Mayor of Easttown. You have Guy Pierce. Is a crime investigation. She's the detective. What's the name of the girl? Help me here, guys. I forgot her name. Fuck. Anyways, she's the detective. Is awesome. And there's a murder. A girl was murdered in a creek. It's so good. It's so good, guys. You have to watch. There are a lot of suspects. There is catfishing. There is weird people. It's like it's not exactly like Delphi, but this is the name. Mayor of Easttown. Mayor is her name. It's just so good, guys. If you like mystery, if you like it, I know you like, because imagine a crime like the crime in Delphi. It's something like that. And the twists, I couldn't stop. 7 episodes yesterday I saw about this show. And just to come back to my point, yeah, I was not watching any material about Delphi, so sorry for that, Amy. But I'm gonna look into your theory. And yes, I was just so sick. So yesterday I couldn't sleep, so that helps to watch more TV. Anyways, and by the way, yes, since I was not very focused on the Delphi's news, let's say, I know that there are a lot of noise about the appealing process. The small or the most relevant information I was able to retain was that communication between Abby and Logan Holder, that apparently they were supposed to meet there, that Logan Holder communicated with his father saying that she's missing. I don't know if there was something special. Those are the two main things I was able to to recall, because I didn't watch like a 2-hour show or 3-hour show this week to be like more informed. So maybe if you can give me some news, I will appreciate that. So let me go back to the chat for a second. Yeah, so please, guys, go to Amy's channel and let's see what is her theory about the failed abduction. A Criminal Network. I always wanted Kegan Klein to give me a ride in his Lamborghini. I don't think he's going to be able to enter into the Lamborghini. KS. I just felt like the hotel rumor fell into the timeline of Kegan Klein and the Air Force Base confession. I forgot where I heard it, but it made some sense. Yeah, but it's just, there's no solid evidence that happened. I think the sources are not very solid, so I wouldn't go there. yeah, I hope everybody is having a good pre-Christmas time, decoration, stuff like that. It's true. The sad reality is that Betsy arrived a minute or so later. This crime probably doesn't happen. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. Give me 1 second here, guys. Fishy, it's all fun buying, but I hate wrapping. Yeah. Except when the cats or kids get involved, or the dogs. That was a good series. Exactly. Kate Winslet. Yeah, so good. I love that series. I love it. Yeah, Kate Winslet. Great actress. I loved it. Okay, let me see here. I'm scrolling down. Chlorophyll. Duct tape. What are you talking about, guys? So lost. I'm so lost. Yeah, once again, the lawyers don't know enough about the crime. Maybe they know a lot, and that's why they were avoiding to use Kegan Klein as part of their strategy. That's what I feel it happened. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna stop here. Thank you so much for the company. It was fun. Thank you, Criminal Network, to keep the momentum during the show. All of you guys, thank you so much. I have to work tomorrow and after tomorrow. Then I'm gonna be on vacations during more than 1 week. So yeah, I'm going to do some lives soon. Please hit the like, guys. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Again, that's it. See you guys. Love you. Thank you, Fishy. Love you too. Bye bye. Stay in touch. It was great tonight.